Hi, you guys. Welcome to Enlightenment from La. This is a channel almost about anything and everything spiritual. We're going to get into the moon sign and what the moon sign is. The moon sign is the way that you express yourself, the way that you respond. Really. The sun would be the way that you express yourself, excuse me. A better way of saying the moon sign is a way that you respond, a way that you react, how you feel internally, how you think, even though it's not Mercury. It's more of like how you feel, let me say. Because even though your Mercury and your Sun have a lot to do with the way that you think and express yourself, the way that you feel is your moon sign. That's why a lot of people like to refer the moon as a soul. They like to say that the moon sign is your soul. It's also your shadow self, so it's what goes on subconsciously. It may be things that you're not aware of, things that are deeply ingrained in your rooted being that you may have to work through. If I believe the moon sign is actually connected to the root chakra. In a way it makes sense, but in a way it doesn't, because the subconscious is feminine. But also, we also have the animus and the anima, so they both play a part. The moon sign, though, I want to say is mysterious if you're not in tune with who you are on an internal level. Your moon sign is the way that you can use to connect to, I want to say, your childhood. It also has a lot to do with the consciousness of your mother, how your mother was thinking or feeling, her awareness when she was conceived with you, when you were conceived. Also, you're going to get a little bit of your father in there as well. So this is really like your mind is like a made-up mind of the unconscious of your parents, whatever they had going on internally, and that's how I would say the moon sign is then created. Okay? The way to express your moon sign is noticing what energies get pulled out of you when you fully put your focus onto something. When you're consciously focused onto something and you're doing it every day, what feelings is it pulling out of you? That's how I would look at the moon sign. What triggers you, okay? What makes you want to react? What makes you want to respond? And how do you go about responding that? A lot of this will have to do with that. Me being I'm a Scorpio moon, I might react cold and distant like I don't care, because I have the ability to really detach and really not give a fuck. But sometimes, if it's something I really, really care about and I'm in that mood, yes, I'm moody, and I'm in that mood, I will react and I will respond. And sometimes I even shock myself with how I react and how I respond, because it's very intense. When I get angry, it stings. Sometimes when I sting others, it really ends up stinging me because I didn't have the ability to master myself. And this is why I take the time to really focus on studying myself, the psychology of the mind, as much as I can, getting a theory of how I can try to heal whatever it is, and how I can try to accept my emotions without repressing them. Me being a Scorpio moon, I repress my emotions a lot. I will shove them down to the deepest parts of me and leave them there and never look back. And being it that I am that way, it can cause lots of disharmony in my relationships and lots of chaos in my life, to the point to where I'm going to get in a bunch of chaotic relationships until I look at myself in the mirror and I accept the fact that I was hurt. I feel that emotion and let it go. So your moon sign is more about feeling. That way you're not reacting, you're responding. So if you ever want to know how someone feels or how they would look at something or think about something, you would want to look into their moon sign, because it's going to tell you the depths of their being. Our ascendant sign, I talked about that in the sun sign. You guys can find those series as well. But definitely when you're looking into a chart, the moon, the sun, and the rising are going to be the most important things to look into. And then if you want to look into like a person's karma and things like that, you would look into the generational planets and stuff like that, or a person's desires, you would look into the other planets. This is my expression of the moon sign. I use myself because I can't really use anybody else. I know my own birth chart, but so if you guys do want to book a astrology report, I do Vedic astrology. You can book that reading down below on my website, lavonsdivinetouch.com. First, it'll take you to my social media page and show you all my other content that I create. But then you can find my website. You won't miss it. It's at the top of the bar. And check that out too. For other readings and things like this, if you want to get a little deeper, I do have a Patreon as well. And you guys can subscribe to the Patreon. There are lots of different tiers on there with about of occult knowledge that I have learned about myself. Actually, a lot of wisdom I've learned comes from myself, and I've actually done a lot of studying in other people as well. So I will see you guys soon.